So you guys have been asking me where you can buy niche fragrances that are inexpensive, especially since recently I did a video about essential parfums and I featured 5 that are fragrances that I bought in Paris at Perfumes, which retail here in the States for $75. So you guys have been asking me for a list of brands that you can look up and discover niche fragrances. So I have brands here that have fragrances that can be purchased for all under $100. So if you want to find out what they are, please stay tuned. So I'm going to jump right to this list because it'll be a pretty long video, but I'm going to feature brands with niche offerings, of course. These are niche houses, they're not designers, they're just strictly doing perfumes. And what I want to do is start off with Essential Parfums, since we featured them earlier in a video. And Essential Parfums has 5 fragrances currently, and they retail for $75, 100 ml bottle. So 5 of the fragrances, and I know all of them since I just did the video. You got Rose Magnétique, you've got the Musk, you've got Santal, it's Orange X Santal, and you also have Mon Vetiver and Nice or Nice Bergamot. And my 3 favorites are Rose Magnétique, Mon Vetiver, and also Nice or Nice Bergamot. So it's a great house to discover for 100 ml bottles, $75 each, and it's niche, and you have like focused fragrances. You got the Rose, you got the Vetiver, you got the Bergamot and Musk, and also the Orange and Sandalwood. So that's a great house to start with. Another brand that you should definitely focus on is a house called SHAY in Blue, and I have 2 of their fragrances in my collection. I have Dandelion Fig, and I also have Framboise Noir, which I recently featured in my Fruity Fragrances video. And this house has fragrances in these bottles for about $95. It's either 90 or 95, so they are 100 ml bottles and they are under $100. And it's a great house that I want to explore further, especially since they are definitely under $100, because sometimes designer fragrances are starting to creep up there with pricing as well. So if it's $100 or less, might as well go check out some niche brands, especially if you live in a place where all you have available are designers. You might want to, check these brands out, especially since they won't break your bank, and then stand out with the fragrances you wear. So these are 2 excellent fragrances that you should definitely check out. Another fragrance house I want to tell you about is a house called OLFACTORY New York City, or NYC. I did a video about these 2 fragrances last year, and these are 50 ml bottles, and they retail for $50. That's pretty amazing price-wise. And apparently, which I don't know how they do this because I didn't get them done with the fragrances here, but they actually can put their name or your name on the bottles. They print it out on it. So the couple of fragrances I have here, this really beautiful vanilla, it's warm. And then this one right here is a patchouli heavy woody green fragrance. Both of them are really amazing, and I was quite surprised at the longevity of these as well. So this is another house for you to try. Now this is a store in New York City that does these fragrances, and of course you can order them as well for $50. That is like really inexpensive. Another house I want to tell you about is a house called Gallivant. So I've done videos with Gallivant fragrances, and of course I have also interviewed Nick Stewart, the owner of Gallivant. They have fragrances in 30 ml bottles, which are very easy to transport. I have Berlin here, which is a vetiver, and then I have Tokyo, which is my favorite. It's a green, wasabi, woody, gingery kind of a fragrance. Really unique smell. And then this one, Amsterdam, out of the 3 is my, it's not a love it smell, but it's a unique kind of smell with a different floral touches, but a great fragrance because I mean a great house, because the 30 ml really unique fragrances under $100, easy to transport because these are not going to weigh down your suitcase or purse or whatever, and I just throw in a bag and take them around with you. So those are the Gallivant fragrances. Another brand that I've spoken about a lot on this channel is a house called Imaginary Authors, where they have these unique fragrances. You can search Imaginary Authors on my channel and discover videos I've done with the owner, Josh Meyer. I have got 3 of my favorite fragrances from this house here just to feature, and these are all under $100. Of course, they're $95 for 50 ml. They also have a 14 ml size, which are around $30, I believe. Don't quote me on the price, but they're definitely less expensive than these. So if you are into the fragrances that are you don't want to buy a lot of fragrance, if that makes sense. So this is a 50 ml bottle. You want something smaller, you don't wear a lot of fragrance. The 14 ml sizes are really, really awesome. We're going to get into some brands that are more expensive in their regular pricing, and then we're also going to have smaller sizes that are definitely under 100. But these, the regular lineup, are under $100, and it's a great price. This is a City on Fire, a really awesome smoky, soapy fragrance. Sundrunk, I have a video on the channel, and it's a really yummy, delicious orange fragrance. And my current favorite is this one. This is St. Julep. Amazing fragrance. I love it in the fall. Well, in the spring, summer, and fall. Another house I want to talk to you about is a house called Molton Brown. I've done a couple of videos about this house, and their fragrances are sold in 50 ml bottles here in the States. You can't find 100 ml bottles here, or 100 ml is also available in the UK, where I bought my latest one, which I don't have here because we don't sell the 100 mls, and I think if we did, they would be over $100. But the 50 mls go for $75, I believe. Actually, the 50 ml bottles here in the States go for $65, and they do have some great fragrances. The Eau de Cord, the mesmerizing Eau de Cord in Gold is really great fragrance. This Bouchacan is a really awesome citrusy, classic styling fragrance. And then you also have Russian Leather here, which is really awesome leather. These are very easy to wear. And then you have Tobacco Absolute here. Great fragrances for 65 bucks, 50 ml. Great choices. If you're looking for niche, you should definitely check out those. Another house that I've spoken a lot about in the past are Towerville, Andy Towers, Tower Perfumes, budget line of fragrances, Towerville. And the three fragrances that I love from this line are Vanilla Flash, Rose Flash, and it's Patch Flash. Three awesome fragrances, three very long-lasting fragrances, and they sell, or they are available in 30 ml bottles for $63. And these fragrances are so extra heavy and potent that they're going to last a long time. I think if I look at the whole entire table of fragrances, out of all of them, these are going to be the longest lasting ones. So if you like them strong, intense, definitely check out Towerville. I have videos on the channel, as I said, about these fragrances, and I have a Patch Flash review with my friend Dahlia, so you can check those out. So let's go to the house of Jo Malone. Jo Malone, I'm sure you're pretty familiar with. They have these fragrances here in the clear bottles for $136, but they do carry the 30 ml bottles like this, and these retail for $63, I believe, or $68. I don't usually carry these around. I mean, I don't usually buy these. This was gifted to me. It's a fragrance that's no longer made, but to me it smelled like Aventus. But if you like to explore Jo Malone and you find that these are a little too expensive, and it's a lot of fragrance sometimes too, then the $68 for the 30 mls are awesome. And the 30 mls, like as I was saying earlier, also make it really easy to travel with. They're not too heavy, and you can throw them in a bag or a suitcase and you have a fragrance with you. So the Jo Malone line is a great line of fragrances. They're lighter, they're eau de colognes, and definitely if you're looking for niche, unique fragrances and you want to stand out, definitely the Jo Malone house is a great house to explore for fragrances. Another house that you should also be able to easily find is Lush's Gorilla Perfume. Now they have fragrance prices all over the place, so they're different pricing. So Cardamom Coffee and Rentless are two of my favorites, although I featured this recently in a video where I said I wasn't pulling for it much. It's a patchouli, smoky patchouli, resinous patchouli. Cardamom Coffee, on the other hand, is so delicious. It's cardamom and coffee. But this one, as a 50 ml, retails for about $75, and the 100 ml bottle like this retails for about $150. I bought this at a lot lesser price. I think they must have raised the price up. And then Rentless is retailing for about $50 as a 50 ml and $100 for 100 ml. So you can fluctuate in prices, and if you have a budget for 100 ml, you can get the 100 because it's still under $100. Or you can look around in their other catalog of fragrances and see what else they have in their fragrance house, because they do have quite a bit of fragrances around. So these are two fragrances from the house of Lush Gorilla Perfume. Definitely ones to check out. Another house I should also talk about that I used to do videos about on the previous channel, I haven't done much here on this current channel, is Laurence Dumont's Les Senteurs Gourmands fragrances. These are so readily available in Europe, but you can find them on Amazon or eBay and places like that, sometimes at the other discounters as well. And they have so many great fragrances. They also have an oud line, and they have lots of gourmands, lots of vanilla. Tendre Madeleine is really, really delicious. A lot of people compare this to Lyra. I see the similarities. It's caramelly, sugary, vanillic, of course. But these you can find for about $50 for a 100 ml bottle. So a 100 ml bottle, $50, niche fragrances, amazing stuff. You should definitely check these out. As I said, they are more readily available in Europe, and when I've traveled to France, I see them at the Galeries Lafayette all the time, and they're even cheaper there. They're like 30 euros, 25 euros for 100 ml bottles, so it's pretty inexpensive. So those are definitely ones you should check out. Now, a couple of fragrances from the house of Cartusia. These are Cartusia. I have a video I shot at the Cartusia store in Capri, Italy recently, late last year. If you are curious, you should check it out. But Cartusia has two sizes of fragrances. They also have concentrations that are heavier than these ones. These are eau de toilettes, I believe. But the 50 ml bottles of these retail for $80. 100 ml retails for $120. So it's a great line. It really is. I was really in heaven when I was there in their store, and I was in their actual lab where they put the things together, and bottle, package, all that kind of stuff. These two are quite beautiful. This one actually is a tea fragrance, a fresh tea. This one's called Mediterraneo. I think it's one of their most popular. And then this one is Terra Mia, which is a coffee, nutty, rose, tuberose, kind of a gourmand fragrance, which is really, really delicious. So you can get these for under $100 suggested retail. I mean, I should also go to the extent and say some of these, or a lot of these, you'll find at discounters at a lot cheaper. I'm giving you the suggested retail price, but some of them will not make it to discounters because of the way they're distributed. Will never, like, I'm sure these will never New York City, OLFACTORY New York City, they will never make it to the discounters because they're just like a one shop, but you can buy them online and from their store because they're already so inexpensive. For $50, you're not going to need to go to the discounters to get them, I'm sure. So those are other fragrances, but yeah, check out the Cartusia fragrances because I think they're going to be pretty amazing. If you like Montal's Intense Cafe, this one's definitely one to try. It has similarities. This one has a nuttiness to it. There's a hazelnut note in there. Another brand you should check out now are the commodity fragrances. Now these fragrances in the 100 ml bottles are over $100, but they do have 10 ml sizes that are under $50. They have two collections. These are from the regular collection, and these are the more expensive fragrances. These are about $135. These are about $105 for 100 ml, but the smaller 10 ml sizes are around $25 to $35 for the less expensive collection for about $25, and then the more expensive collection for about $35. So they're sold at Sephora, so you can find them at most Sephoras, and of course Sephora.com. And then you can also find them, on their own website. It's funny because this brand started out in Los Angeles and they moved to London, I believe, is where they're based out of currently, or maybe New York City. I'm not really sure. But I first discovered them when they were out of Los Angeles, and I first ordered my bottle, and I got whiskey. It's the one I bought, which I still love. I love the house, and the tea is awesome, and of course this Orris is great. Recently featured in my Iris and Orris video. So they have great fragrances, and if you want niche fragrances, definitely these are ones to try. Of course, these are a little more expensive because you're only getting 10 mLs for about that price, but if you step it up a little bit, you can get the fragrances in the larger sizes. So next I want to talk to you about Atelier Cologne, which has multiple sizes of their fragrances. The regulars are, of course, the 100 mLs, but you can also go up to 200 mLs, but then you can also go down to the 30 ml sizes, which I don't really buy, but I've gotten these as gifts, when you buy the larger bottles. The 10 mLs in the regular lineup of fragrances are about $28, so you get 10 ml small. These are the 30 mLs, and these go for about $75 for the regular lineup. Now they have more expensive fragrances, and those will be more expensive, but they're actually, depending on which ones you like. But if you go for the basic lineup, the citruses and everything else that's in the basic lineup, then you will get them for really inexpensive and then definitely under $100. But the regular lineup as 100 ml is retailing for $135. So it depends on what size you want. The 30 mLs I think are a great price, and these actually sometimes I see at discounters as well, so you can find some deals on them. But if you go suggested retail to places like Nordstrom, Neiman Marcus, or directly to their website or to their boutiques, because we have one here in San Francisco, then you're going to pay them the suggested retail price as I was mentioning. So those are also some options for you to try. So we also have a house called Juliet Has a Gun. I have 3 fragrances here: Sunny Side Up, Not a Perfume, and of course Moscow Mule. And these fragrances you'll be able to get for about $100 in a 50 ml bottle. So you've got the 50 ml size for $100, and that's a great price, I think. But if you have a little more money left in your budget, then you can actually step it up and get the 100 ml sizes for about $135, which I think is still a pretty good deal, because there are some designer fragrances that sell their fragrances for around that price. So these are niche, these are unique fragrances, and you just have to see what you want to do. But there's definitely lots of niche out there in the different sizes where you can get fragrances for under $100. There's another house I want to talk to you about called MOLTON, and MOLTON is a house based out of Grasse, France, and I have some fragrances here of theirs in 2 different sizes. These bottles are what they sell in Europe, I believe, because when I was in Nice, where around where MOLTON's based out of, this is what they were selling, not these bottles. And these are all the same fragrances. This is the musk, and this is the vanille patchouli. This is the cuir. I have reviews for both of them. This is the leather, of course. These suggested retail are $65, and the discounters have them for around $50, $45, and you can get really unique fragrances from this house and smell great and unique. And the ones I'm looking forward to picking up soon are the lavender, and then of course the fig. I love those 2. I've smelled them before on my travels, and they're awesome. So this is a great house to discover if you're ever in Nice, or actually in Grasse, of course. Nice, there's a store for the MOLTON, but then of course they're based out of Grasse. So check them out. I think they have some great fragrances. There's also a house called I Profumi di Firenze where the fragrances are $110 for a 50 ml, but you can always get their smaller bottles here. 12 ml for $44. It's a small bottle. It's a little on the pricier side, but it is available for you to purchase, and you can get these from Beauty Habit, but they have great fragrances. I love their vanilla. It's a very creamy, whipped creamy vanilla, very delicious. And then of course their tobacco is also very unique. This tobacco is so different than any other tobacco. It's more floral, and it's not necessarily the smoked or ashy tobacco, it's the fresh tobacco. So very unique. So check this house out. I have a lot of fragrance videos or reviews for this house, and of course these little bottles are cute. But just a $10 more and you get the larger size, which is awesome. Another house definitely I'd like to speak about is Etat Libre d'Orange, where their regular size bottles retail for about $149, a 100 ml bottle, but they do have multiple sizes where you can get smaller sizes and it won't break the bank. So we have 30 mls retailing for $52, the 50 mls are retailing for $90. And then of course you have the 100 mls for $149, and these are really great fragrances. I'm Trash is a really fruity apple delicious fragrance, and then there's You Are Someone Like You. Both of these are perfect for the summer, and if you're like a fragrance like this and 149 is a little too steep, and 100 ml, of course you can step it down and get a smaller size for under $100, and you can actually smell great along with not spending too much money. So this is a great house. I love this house, and I love the fragrances they release. Another house that I want to talk to you about are the Eccentric Molecules fragrances, where they have the 30 mls that are under $100. These fragrances are amazing. Obviously, you know this. They're perfect for layering or wearing on their own because the fragrances just stand out and people smell them and react really positively to them. Molecule 1 is probably the more popular. I have a couple of them here. But I also like Molecule 4 and Eccentric 4. Just really love those two a lot. These retail for about $80 for the 30 mls. This is the Eccentric 4. I think this is Eccentric 4. And then of course the 100 mLs retail for about $140. So if you have the budget, you could go for the 100 mLs, but then if you don't, then the 30 mLs of course are ones for you to try at a less expensive price. And there's also really easy to travel with, so that's also a great thing. The 30 mLs are much smaller. And last but not least, unfortunately I don't have the bottles here, and I'm going to take some photos and feature it in here, but Roger & Gallet is a brand that I bought many fragrances of back in the day. On the previous channel I even had some various videos about this house. It's a house that is sold at pharmacies and drugstores in France that I love. They're freshies. They're actually, there's a store, a Roger & Gallet store on the Rue Saint-Honoré, but they are freshies. They have such great fragrances. I wish I had the fragrances here. I left them somewhere else, but they have the tea, they have the ginger, which I love. They have the orange and woody fragrance, many different flavors. They're almost like a Jo Malone, lighter fragrances, but very great quality. So they're eau de colognes, lighter. They also have the intense versions. And one more thing, their neroli is also amazing. A really beautiful neroli. Just a great collection of fragrances. The famous perfumers are making them. There is one created by Francis Kurkdjian. I think it's the floral fig one. So they hire famous perfumers to create their fragrances. And it's too bad I don't have them with me here, but it's one for you to check out. Here in the States, you can find them at the discounters for around $50 for 100 ml. So if you like them lighter, if you like them unique and creative fragrances, definitely check that line out, because I think it's definitely worth it. And they make perfect fragrances for the summertime because they're not so intense and heavy and rich. Anyway, that's the video for you today. These are all brands, niche brands that you can buy fragrances of for under $100. So if you like not to spend too much money on niche and want to be unique and stand out with your fragrance and smell unique, then these are definitely brands for you to check out, especially since they're budget. I mean, a lot of these fragrances are under even $75, so it won't break your bank. You can buy a couple or maybe three for around $200 and smell awesome. So anyway, that's my video for today. If you guys know of any brands that have fragrances, niche brands that have fragrances for under $100, please let me know. Put a comment down so I find out, so I can feature them in a future video. Other than that, guys, let me know if you know these houses or brands. Do you like these fragrances? Have you worn any of these fragrances? I'd love to find out. And as I said, just let me know if there are other brands that you know of, are aware of, that I can check out for the future. Anyway, guys, thanks so much for watching this video. Please like this video, please share it, follow me on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, and I'll be back with more videos very soon. Have a good one. Goodbye.